Yeah, and how do I say this? How do I say this? I think that the news the news came out that Monique will no longer be on the Real Housewives of Potomac by choice. She already acknowledged a day or two ago that the contracts went out and she received her contract. So it makes sense. It's all strategic. She wanted to make sure that people knew that no, I was not fired or let go. I was not fired or let go. So I said, okay, fine. But she then goes and announces on her own that she's no longer on the show. And it's by choice. She is prioritizing her marriage, her relationship, her her peace of mind because things did get toxic. And this does actually remind me a little bit. Okay, tangent. This does remind me a little bit of Snooki leaving Jersey Shore because she had issues with Angelina. The fan base got more toxic instead of just fun and goofy, and it wasn't worth it for her. And money isn't an issue, so she doesn't care. Because Snooki's missing out on a lot of money by not being on that show. And we know Monique is financially secure in her marriage, and she clearly feels secure in her marriage, period. And that's great. I'm happy for her. Kind of with what we were saying to her about this whole thing of, hey, if you are feels this way about Candace, we understand she's her friend. We understand that your main issue is that how can someone who calls you a friend is being friends with Charisse, talking, listening to gossip from Gigi, and then this other weird thing of going along with what Giselle and Robin said. When it comes to that, I 110% believe that what really happened was Giselle and Robin heard this information from Gigi / Charisse. Charisse was possibly trying to see if she can come back on the show while using this in order to do so. It didn't work out. Monique threatened to sue once she heard this information. Instead of hearing this information from her friend, she heard this information from, what was it, Ashley, and Karen didn't even want to. Karen wasn't even trying to entertain that. And I do believe that Candace was put in a precarious situation and then told to react. Her reaction wasn't something that we saw or truly saw. And that's my problem. I believe everyone. I believe everyone in this case. I believe that Candace really didn't have any malicious intentions with Monique regarding that whole thing, and Monique to be so upset for her for not saying anything. Yes, you can honestly, if they were in a better place, Monique will chuck that up as a big mistake and then moved forward. But we've seen how on these shows where there's always centralized people, centralized characters that constantly go and try to shift and shape different narratives. Giselle, I won't even say even Robin, but Giselle is really great at taking information, being the, I guess, main person who moves the storyline along. And so for this is what happened to me. I think this is the story of Giselle heard some information. It's a reality show. It's about Monique, who she doesn't really like. So then she goes and puts it out there. It's "We're on the curb" as her little tagline. And it blew up. It blew up because no one probably anticipated Monique getting to this point of, hey, I may sue, I may do this, I may do that because y'all are playing with me. And that's what happens sometimes. So I think Monique's initial reaction, do I think that they will just stop talking about this and bury this? No. I think that because the storyline apparently has been in the works for like over a year or two at this point, at that time, it was going to spill onto the show. It did spill onto the show. It wasn't shown, but we know legal action. We know threats, maybe even veiled threats of, hey, I won't do this, I won't do that if this makes it on the show. Monique has even talked about all this stuff. So we get to this point of now she's like, I can't trust these other ladies, but I knew I couldn't trust these other ladies. But you, and you, oh, I can't trust y'all either? Okay, bet. And unfortunately, what that then does is it turns into a situation of, ooh, ooh. And for reality TV, now it's like, ooh, I can't trust this woman. Has she been playing me this whole time? And has all of this been avoided? No. Some of this. Some of this could have been avoided, but not all. I 100% think at some point this was going to happen. This was going to transpire. It was going to blow up. And this is a situation that we're in now. These women, they're no longer friends. They're the show got really toxic. The storyline got really toxic. Yeah, it got a lot of people drawn in, but these women are not in a good place. It's very separate. It's very, I don't want to use the word segregated, but it's very separated. Everyone's in their little corners more than they ever were before, and I don't know what direction they're going to put the show in. Yes, will almost everyone film with each other? Yes, but we know that they genuinely do not like each other at this point. It is season 5, so what's going to be the turnaround for the season? I don't know. And just for everyone else to know, I think Wendy did get her papers back, because Wendy had an impact. That's what people don't understand. It's not about if you like a character or not. That's not what determines if someone gets a callback. That's not what determines if you are going to continue to be on the show or not. What determines it is, were people talking about it? Was it a talking point on social media? Was it a talking point in social media? And a lot of people had a lot to say about Wendy. People have to remember that Wendy is friends with Candace initially off the show. I don't care if they were super close or not. They're friends. So, of course, Wendy should actually have Candace's overall back. And maybe next season we'll see a different Wendy. She's seen herself. I think she understands that, oh, I need to play this a different way if I want longevity. So we'll probably see a different side of her, especially since now Monique isn't on there. So we are losing a person. I don't know who they're going to bring in to fill in the person. But nonetheless, I do think Monique made the right decision for herself and her family. Whew. Like I said, the reunion, 3 parts, it was good. It was definitely towards the top, if not the top, as far as like reunions for a Real Housewives series. I don't watch like the non-black ones, except for maybe like Salt Lake City. So I can't speak on other ones. Oh, that's not true. I did watch Jersey. Woo, Jersey in its heyday. That's not the point. The point is that these reunions, it was stressful. It was engaging. It was entertaining. It was everything you could want from the reunion. There was some closure. Karen and her husband. I'm from New York. I'm saying Karen and her husband and y'all. Karen and her husband, Ray. I'm glad that they're in a better place. That's nice. Robin and Juan. Glad that they're, I guess, moving back forward to what we thought they were already. Giselle and, I almost said her pastor, Jamal. Pastor Jamal. They're going to be whatever it is they're going to be. Giselle's going to be happy and content with that. So I guess we just say, happy for her. Beautiful gowns type of thing. Because that's the thing. In the real world, do I care? No. I don't care at all. This is a show. I watch and then I leave. And I switch the channel afterwards. That's all this happens. So I'm not invested to what is he doing? What is she doing? I don't care. I don't care about what Ashley's husband. It depends, because you need to keep your hands to yourself. You need to keep your hands to yourself. And just because you can play around with someone in one fashion doesn't mean you can play around with them in all. That's an important life lesson that a lot of people don't know. What else? Who else? Candace. I want peace for Candace, because before all this, I liked Candace. That was the thing. Before all of this, I liked Candace. It was just irking and irritating me to have to deal with, I guess, her in this state. But I have to understand that everyone is different. Everyone goes through different struggles and traumas, and how they process it and how they handle it. We know it's not just the physical thing. We know, and she even acknowledged it. It was what came after that. And we get that. But every action presents an equal and opposite reaction. Because of that, Oh, that was science. Because of that, even when someone, let's say, initially does something to you, how you proceed afterwards also determines what happens to you in the future. And with the whole law, if the lawsuit thing did not happen, even with let's say Monique's people went and put out that information, and Monique didn't even tell them to do that. Um, I what now happens is now it's a fight between fandoms. Now it's a was it morally right? Are you supporting someone who hits people versus well, what about saying a legal case to potentially send her to jail and all this stuff is like, but your mouth. It got really toxic. The worst of these franchises when it comes to fandoms popped out. Everyone's projecting on what everyone else is doing whenever they see something in general. So imagine on these shows we're only seeing part of things, and then on the reunion it shows, well, we didn't see this or we didn't see that. These unseen footage stuff, I don't think I've ever seen this much unseen footage in my life from a reality show. Even though I appreciate it, it also makes me feel like, all right, what are we doing here? Because this completely changes the narrative, because every show has to have a storyline. So that when we see more of the truth, it kind of irks me. So that's it. That's all I have for you. I know I ranted, and this was supposed to be a video about Monique no longer being on the Real Housewives because she chose to leave, but it turned to something else. So please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my other videos on my channel. I've been doing a lot of music reaction stuff lately, but who knows in 2021 what I have in store. Ooh, this is annoying.